I am Dr. Kumari Neha, Department of Botany, RLSY College, Ranchi. Today, I am going to discuss about CC 14 paper for semester 6 students. In this module, you will learn about various types of tissue culture that can be initiated from varying types of cells such as meristematic, embryonic, and mature. Broadly, tissue cultures can be classified into two categories. First, unorganized, callus, and suspension culture, and second, organized, nodal explant culture, shoot tip culture, root culture, anther culture, ovary culture, embryo culture, etc. In this module, we will discuss about tissue culture of unorganized cells, that is callus, and suspension culture. Callus culture. Callus is an unorganized mass of parenchymatous tissue with meristematic loci. It lacks any organized structure but may show restricted cellular differentiation, largely tracheidal cells. Callus can be induced from any differentiated tissue and shows heterogeneity as it is usually derived from different cells of the explant tissue. Depending on the explant and media constituents, variations in terms of color, texture, compactness, and even chemical composition are reported. Broadly, calli can be classified as compact, dry, wet, dark. However, these are interchangeable and different types can be observed by changing the media constituents. Passage of time in culture, etc. The calli can be multiplied indefinitely as unorganized tissue through periodic subculture, 3 to 4 weeks, on fresh media of similar composition. By manipulating culture media organized structures such as embryos, shoots, and roots can be differentiated. It is observed that in nature also, several species of higher plants also develop irregular and unorganized structures. These structures arise due to many factors such as, first, disturbance in the endogenous growth regulator level caused by infection. Second, insect injury. Third, soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis, also called crown gall. Fourth, a specific genetic recombination, genetic tumors. Potentially, it is possible to take a small piece of any plant organ, surface sterilized, and culture on an appropriate media for inducing callus. Usually, auxin with or without cytokinin is added in the media. The requirement for exogenesis growth regulators varies with the explant. Of the various auxins, 2-4D is the most favored auxin for callus induction. On a favorable medium, the explant shows cell divisions that starts initially at the cut-in but extend over the entire surface. Within 3 to 4 weeks, the callus can be separated from the mother plant and transferred to the fresh media of similar composition. It is interesting to note that in many species, after few subcultures, callus acquire an irreversible capacity to synthesis auxin, and such cultures can grow independent of an auxin. Such callus culture are called habituated. Similar habituation of cultures for cytokinin has also been observed. Callus cultures have many applications such as, first, isolate single cells for raising suspension culture. Second, provide secondary metabolites. Third, generate somoclonal variation. Fourth, system for studying various morphogenetic and physiological studies. First, suspension culture, growth pattern types and applications. Suspension cultures are established by transferring a small piece of travel kali into liquid medium in flask. The medium is kept on a shaker and is continuously agitated at 30 to 100 rpm. Agitation exerts a mild pressure on the tissue, thus breaking it into single cells and smaller cell aggregates. Agitation ensures gaseous exchange between the growing cells, culture medium and the air inside the flask. It is observed that multicellular aggregates are essential for growth of viable single cells. The suspension culture can be maintained as batch cultures, whereby a small aliquot of the suspension is transferred to a fresh media, approx 5 times dilution. Many a times the aliquot is taken through a pipette or a syringe so as to allow single cell or small cell aggregates to be used as inoculum. The culture follows a sigmoid curve with following 5 phases. Lag phase, where cells prepare to divide. Exponential phase, during which cell division is very fast. Linear growth phase, after few cells division, the division slows down and cell expansion takes place. Deceleration phase, during this phase, both cell division and expansion decline. Stationary phase, the number and size of the cells remain constant. The cultures can be maintained in an exponential phase by frequent subcultures, 3 days interval. It was observed that lag phase can be considerably reduced by adding conditioned medium, a medium in which cell culture are grown before. You will appreciate that the pattern of cell growth and its expansion represent continuous changes that are happening in the nutrient medium, thus impacting cell growth and metabolism. This system therefore has inherent difficulties and is not suitable for studying cell growth and metabolism. Some of these problems have been overcome by continuous cultures. Continuous suspension cultures involve periodic addition of fresh medium and draining out of used media along with cells or without cells. A special equipment has been designed called bioreactor to grow continuous cell cultures on a larger scale. The continuous cultures can be classified into 2 categories. First, closed continuous cultures. In this system, the amount of fresh media is equivalent to the outflow of the old media. The cells from the outflowing media are mechanically separated and added back to the culture. In this system, the age of the culture keeps on increasing. Second, open continuous culture. In this system, the amount of fresh media added is equivalent to the medium taken out, thus ensuring that cells remain in the exponential phase of growth. Open continuous cultures have been successfully applied for successful cultures of algae. The media is continuously monitored for the nutrients and are adjusted, thus ensuring that all media constituents remain available at the concentrations that is desired for high growth rate. Depending on the end requirement, nutrient pH stress can be created for the accumulation of desired metabolites. For example, lipids if biofuel is the objective. Usually, the media on which callus culture is established is used for raising suspension culture as well. The liquid culture has the omission of agar and usually high phosphorus that in the semi-solid media. Fortification with growth regulators like auxins and cytokinin and other complex conjugates such as casein hydroxylate, has been reported. For many studies, such as those on cell cycle or cell metabolism, use for synchronous culture is desirable. Synchronization is achieved by starvation. The cells are starved of a nutrient such as phosphorus or nitrogen or hormonal factor required for cell division, so as the first arrest them in G1 or G2 phase of the cell cycle. Thereafter, the starved cells are transferred to complete nutrient media, and the majority of them then enter cell division. Synchronization is also achieved by using inhibitors of DNA synthesis such as thymidine and hydroxylurea. With the use of these chemicals, cell cycles stop at G1 phase, and removing inhibitors results in the immediate synchronous cell division. Growth in plant cell culture can be measured by various parameters such as cell counting, packed cell volume, cell fresh weight, cell dry weight, non-invasive method of measuring the cell sediment. Applications of large-scale cell culture. To produce commercially important secondary metabolites, you will be studying more about it on secondary metabolites. Production of foreign recombinant proteins, the first in vitro plant made proteins for vaccine against Newcastle disease virus has been registered. Bioreactors. For large-scale cell culture, bioreactors of varying nature have been designed. A bioreactor essentially is a glass or a steel vessel fitted with instruments to monitor the pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, etc. on a continuous basis. It also has provisions to allow sampling of cultures, add fresh medium or other nutrients, adjust pH, air supply, etc. In recent years, photobioreactors have also been designed so as to develop cultures which are mixotrophic or photoautotrophic in nature. The idea of using bioreactors for large-scale cell culture came from bioreactors used for microbial culture. Since plant cells are sensitive to shear stress, bioreactors are with low agitation speed. There are problems associated with extracellular polysaccharides, fatty acids, and high sugar content that results in foaming. Many a time, the cells get trapped in the foam and eventually die. Death of the cells results in senescence, killing other cells as well. Some of these problems have been offset by the use of anti-foam agents. Another problem associated with long-term culture is formation of cell aggregates that results in stiffness, and problem is in mixing of cells. Bioreactors have also been designed for large-scale multiplication of organized structures as well, such as hairy root culture for production of secondary metabolite, potato tuber production, bulblet production in lyrium, plantlet production in banana. It is worth mentioning that bioreactors are more affordable, but experienced hands are required to ensure maintenance of aseptic cultures and for getting a desired morphogenetic response. Tissue culture also provides a unique opportunity of growing single cells in culture. Single cells provide a unique opportunity to study the effects of various chemicals, environmental influence on the cellular response. Further, cloning of single cells permits use of techniques of microbial genetic to higher organisms as well as identification of induced or spontaneous mutants. Single cells can be isolated either from the intact plant, usually from leaf tissue, or from the fine suspension cultures. The cells of the middle lamella Mesophyll or parenchymatous cells can be either isolated mechanically by scrapping of cells or enzymatically through application of macroenzyme or from suspension culture produced by the friable calli. Techniques for growing single cells. Culture of single cells is not easy and many a times they fail to grow. A number of techniques are developed such as filter paper draft nurse technique, microchamber technique, Bergman cell plating technique, micro drop technique. In this module, you have learned that the importance of single cell cultures, suspension cultures, batch cultures, continuous culture, and importance of single cell cultures. Also at low cell density, use of complex nutrient media with substances of undefined nature such as nurse tissue, conditioned media, coconut milk, yeast extract, etc. required. The use of bioreactors have been studied and commercially exploited for large-scale cultivation of plant cells. However, more research is needed to develop bioreactors that are suitable for a variety of plant cell cultures. Thank you.